Unsure how many people would turn out, authorities weren't taking any chances. Boris Nemtso himself had asked people to join him here today for an opposition rally. Instead, they came to march over his murder. And they came in huge numbers. Organisers claimed there was in excess of 70,000 people, carrying flags and placards with statements that read things like, "We are not afraid."
It's a huge loss for us, and I think the authorities have crossed the line now. I think a big change is to come. I don't know exactly what will happen, but I don't expect anything good in this country.
This was Boris Nemtso just hours before his death. In the footage taken from a radio interview, he looks relaxed, despite speaking of the pressure he says opponents to Russia's government have been experiencing. Later in the day, as he walked back to his home after a meal with a friend, he was shot 4 times, gunned down not far from the Kremlin. There are those like Russia's president who see this as a provocative act aimed at destabilising the government, and those who believe this was the result of challenging Russia's leadership under Vladimir Putin.
It's a strange coincidence, a very weird one, that all of his main critics and everybody that crossed his way, somehow almost all of them finished in this way. And that again resonates with the fact that he really turned Russia into some kind of mafia clan and mafia state.
Boris Nemtso had reportedly claimed he was about to publish documents that linked Russian armed forces to the conflict in Ukraine, documents which wouldn't have looked good for President Putin. But as big as the protest was, it's unlikely to influence the Kremlin yet.
Vladimir Putin will get reports about how many people attended, which slogans were sounded, and then he will think that 50,000 people in a city of 12 million is just about peanuts.
In the place where Boris Nemtso died, there's now a sea of flowers. A thorough investigation has been promised, but unless it's an independent one, it's unlikely to convince protesters, many of whom are certain Boris Nemtso was killed for daring to speak out.